And yeah, Reanimator's a deck that I enjoy playing. Sometimes it's again one of those. I think I just like to have a fresh, kind of different style deck to play. I really like the blue-white blade lists, the blue-white blade decks, the control decks, kind of. But Reanimator's a lot of fun. So turn 1 Thoughtseize from Jason. I don't play Thoughtseize main. I play it sideboard. He Thoughtseizes himself and puts a Jin-Gitaxias into the graveyard.
And now Alexander's actually on the draw plus discard plan. So it actually would have been pretty brutal had he... Oh, he played a land?
City of Brass.
Yeah. Oh, he has Putrid Imp. I thought that was Stinkweed Imp. I apologize.
Putrid Imp and Stinkweed Imp, I get them mixed up. Their artwork even looks similar.
Yeah.
Like the only difference, I think, is they're facing the other way. It's like they just took the artwork and went, flip it.
Yeah, I thought Alexander was on the draw plus discard a Stinkweed plan, but it turns out he has the Putrid Imp. So.
Right. Putrid Imp's just fine. So, let's see what Jason's got. Land.
Jason's going to Exhume here.
So you know what's interesting here? I don't think it happened. Jason Thoughtseize says target player reveals his hand. And I don't know that he revealed it. I think he just took Jin-Gitaxias and, you know what I mean? Like I think he cast it as if it said look at target player's hand, but he didn't reveal his hand to Alexander. So that may be something that we
rules link because those types of things change from time to time. How it works.
Which let's see. Just ruling.
Yeah. So he should have revealed his hand.
Yeah.
I don't know if we could. I mean, it's probably just a warning here.
We're 1 turn back, but yeah, I mean, unless he revealed it and we didn't see it, he would have had to have been holding his cards pretty close to his chest and reveal them. But I just don't think he revealed them. You got it. Okay, cool.
Brad Nett, if you are in the room, please make your way to the side of the stage. Brad Nett.
Yeah, I don't mean to, put anybody on tilt here, but you gotta do what the card says.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that's still correct. It says target player reveals his or her hand. That's to me means to the table, not just to you, right? And that's why we have judges.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe I'm wrong.
And it's just it's good to have the games played in a pure fashion where cards actually do what they're supposed to do. It's looking like everything's fine. Alright, go back to the table here. So Exhume.
Can't back up anyway. I mean, yeah, play resumes. I guess we're good. Alright, so Jin-Gitaxias is exhumed into play. And it's going to end his turn and draw some cards?
Yeah, Jason may just die actually right now. It depends how Alexander dredges, but he's going to have a Coliseum activation next turn, so he already has 2 guys in play. If he gets lucky, hits another bridge, Dread Return, and Flamekin Zealot.
That might be it.
That's it. Yeah.
Turn 2 Jin-Gitaxias, not good enough.
Not good enough here. Yeah, what's nice about that Cephalid Coliseum is that, it looks like Jason has a force now, so
yeah, he did draw a force off Jin-Gitaxias.
Oh no, well he does have a therapy now in his graveyard. 2.
Things are looking real good for Alexander.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty. Like right now, does he have a Stinkweed Imp in the graveyard instead of Putrid Imp?
That is Putrid.
Stinkweed?
It's Putrid.
Stinkweed,
Isn't?
okay.
Oh, there's Stinkweed.
I think it's 2 Stinkweeds.
No, I'm pretty sure that. Yeah, you're right. No, you know what? I think he's got both. He's got 2 Stinkweeds and a Putrid, I think is what he's got.
Okay.
That's what I see. I see a Putrid Imp for sure. Just comparing the side of the card right there. And the Stinkweeds, I think, are 2nd from the top of the graveyard and then 5th from the top. So there's Stinkweed, right?
Yeah.
Look at the artwork on it.
It's
like
so similar.
They're
Makes it difficult.
ridiculously similar.
Yeah. And it looks like, he did hit the Flamekin Zealot. So
Golgari Grave Troll.
Hits an Archamoeba here. He did not hit an Archamoeba. He would have won the game had he hit an Archamoeba.
Wow. That's kind of one of the reasons I don't like playing decks like Dredge, where you're kind of all in on this offbeat plan.
Yeah, how many bridges does he have? Just 1?
I wasn't counting, but he definitely has at least 1.
Yeah, I mean, if he has 2 bridges here, he can just start therapying for value. But, I mean, the therapy for value play isn't very good against the guy who's drawing 8 a turn.
Alright, so all his hand is gone at the end of his turn. But his hand is gone anyway.
So something that's interesting is, a lot of people on Twitter were saying that Alexander could have discarded Stinkweed Imp.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and got it into play off the Exhume.
Off the Exhume. So, but would he have had a Dredge card remaining besides Dark Blast? I think having a bigger Dredger might just be better. It's hard though. Alright, let's see.
Alright, Cabal Therapy from Alexander. And he sees Brainstorm, Reanimate, Force of Will, Underground Sea, and Entomb. Animate Dead is what he named with the Cabal Therapy.
Alright, now, interestingly enough, how many Animate Deads are in his deck list?
1. 1, that's interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I play like 2 or 3. I can't remember my most recent version, but definitely more than 1.
Alright, Jason's going to go ahead and force the flashback on the Cabal Therapy there. And let's see if Jason can start doing some serious damage with these reanimation targets that he has access to now, thanks to Jin Cataxius. After all, he does, I think he has, does he have Entomb Reanimate? We know that?
He has Entomb Reanimate in his hand, yeah, so he can theoretically go ahead and...
he can Iona Black?
Yep. He can, let's see, what else does he have here?
Elish Norn, also pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. I think Elish Norn probably would be the target here. Blazing Archon is one that I was looking for. He has that in the sideboard. Nice way to stop all those dudes. But I like Elish Norn better. I think I'd probably go Elish Norn over Blazing Archon anyway.
I think either the Iona or the Elish Norn are the 2 picks that he would take most often here. He doesn't know it's in his opponent's deck.
Right.
Stranger things have happened than Dredge having a way to deal with an Elish Norn out of the graveyard.
That's true.
But
it's weird because, the thing that makes me hesitate on Iona is that Dredge tends to do a lot without even casting a spell. So Iona on black may not hinder Dredge the way it would hinder another heavy black deck. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but I mean, all
the
ways that it gains that advantage, it doesn't need to resolve the spells, but it needs to attempt to cast them. Like Cabal Therapy to make zombie tokens or Dread Return, all those things. You can't do any of that.
Right.
So you can dredge your whole deck away, but it doesn't do anything. You just get Narcomoebas that make a couple tokens when they die, and that's it. But he decides to go with Elish Norn, and I like that play.
Yeah,
I mean,
I like
it's
the
very
Elish
unlikely that Alexander has any way to deal with Elish Norn, especially in the immediate future. And Elish Norn's just going to make his Taxius big chunks out of his life total. Alex should be dead by next turn.
Yeah, pointed out on Twitter that Alex does have Icarid in the deck, which, Iona wouldn't stop either, but Elish Norn does.
Oh, you're right. He is playing an Icarid version of Dredge. That's something that's become less common now that
Right.
Faithless Looting is part of the equation.
But Faithless Looting not in this
Not
list.
in his list, so
Thanks, Gnarls Gnarlington.
sweet name.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I always feel like Dredge players don't get called for slow play enough. Does that make sense?
I never thought about it, but I'll try to pay attention now.
Yeah, I think that... No, I mean, like, it's turn 2, right?
I mean, it's not like he's not doing anything, though. You know what I mean?
Oh,
He's
no,
just
I know, I
sitting there
understand
doing nothing. He's, like, doing things. It just happens
Yeah.
to be taking a long time.
No, I know.
In other cases, you may be very well absolutely...
Yeah, no, and there
right.
I'm not saying that. There, I mean, he didn't take too long, and he was thinking for, like, 30 to 45 seconds, but he ended up conceding at the end of thinking for that long. It wasn't like he was like, all right, I'm going to drag this out as long as possible. He was like, okay, well, now I have no way to win, and I know that, so...
Yeah, he's probably just trying to consider what ways do I have to deal with an Elish Norn, and runs through the deck list and goes, I can't Dark Blast 7 times in the same turn. I guess I lose.
And Jason Terry does not have many anti-dredge cards in his sideboard at all, but I mean, Elish Norn's pretty good against dredge.
Yeah. So
it's going to be really hard for a dredge deck to get up to an Angel of Despair, which is the only card it has that can deal with the Elish Norn. So, as long as Jason knows that he should just be turboing to Elish Norn every time, I think he'll be fine.
So looking at the sideboards, I like the surgical extractions in Jason's list, and he's got 1 Spell Pierce. I kind of like that. Dredge doesn't operate off much mana, and Spell Pierce seems like it would be very live.
Echoing Truth,
Echoing
also very
Truth
good.
for sure. I wonder if he brings in. Actually, no. The Blazing Archon. I like the Blazing Archon. Maybe in place of
Imperial Archangel.
Imperial Archangel, or even the Sphinx. I love the Sphinx, though. The lifelink is so.
The lifelink
so
actually
nice.
matters a lot of the time because sometimes the dredge deck, especially against a deck like Reanimator, is just going to be trying to grind you out with tokens. And things like that. But you have counter spells and things.
Maybe cut.
Pierce, and he plays 4 Force of Will, right? Yeah.
Maybe cut the Inkwell Leviathan instead of the. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like Dredge has that much removal.
Yeah,
so
Dredge isn't going to be trying to kill it. It's just
Inkwell Leviathan's just a big dumb dude, right?
Yeah.
So Blazing Archon would end up being probably better because Blazing Archon, if they're not going to try to kill the Inkwell Leviathan, or if they don't have removal for Inkwell, they don't have removal for Blazing Archon either.
Yeah.
And that's pretty good.
No card's good against the red deck, Iona.
Oh yeah.
Why do these dredge decks not have 1 Iona in their sideboard?
My favorite time playing
Never Die
Iona was
plan?
what's that?
The Never Die plan?
Yeah, I guess so.
What were you saying?
My favorite time playing Iona was actually hardcasting it back in Standard when Jace was legal, like that blue-white control. That's like one of my favorite Standard decks of all time, right? It was Chapin's Pro Tour San Diego deck.
Yeah.
So it was right after World Wake came out. It was Jace and Iona and Treasure Hunt.
Back when you would pick Jace's up on the cheap.
Right, yeah, when Jace was like $40, and no chance he goes up anymore, right? No chance.
No chance.
Yeah, I was grabbing Jaces left and right, so I think at the most I had 13 Jaces because I was just grabbing them, and they just kept going up.
Yeah, my friends and I have 8.
Yeah.
So there are like 4 of us who share the collection.
Right,
so.
right. So just get interrupted by people. Apparently, cameras aren't obvious enough.
Yeah.
Cameras and microphones aren't an obvious enough indicator that we're talking on a camera.
Yeah.
Jesse, you should have just grabbed them. You need to be like the bouncer, dude.
Yeah.
I gotta watch this.
I know, I'm just joking. We need a bouncer for the booth.
Cross the streams. That's what I'm asking all of you to do. Around 3:45 today. Cross the streams.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, basically, I mean, as long as Jason Terry can, get an Elish Norton to play before Alexander starts to, combo him off, he should be fine. Major issue here is that Alexander is completely capable of just killing Jason on turn 2 on the play. So
it's an interesting matchup. The two graveyard decks kind of facing off against each other. One of the reasons.
Interactive match.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
One of the reasons I liked Reanimator is because it's basically blue-black control with a combo in it, and although combo tends to be the plan A, but it really falls back on the blue-black control kind of plan very easily.
Yeah, another nice thing about the deck is that sometimes you can just sit around and wait.
Yeah.
Let them pull the trigger. I really appreciate that type of magic.
All right, so it looks like Alex decided to go on the draw, right?
I think he chose to play and didn't have a land on turn 1, or didn't want to play.
Okay,
Yeah.
he just passed from the play. Okay, no land.
So
I thought maybe he was trying to draw a discard. You know what I mean? Which he couldn't. He could have done on his turn 1 if he was on the draw. So he actually was on the play, and
Chose to pass. I mean, sometimes your hand is just well set up for that. This time, of course, he has a breakthrough. So on his end step here, he's going to discard that Stinkweed Imp, and during his draw step next turn, if he gets lucky and hits maybe 2 dredgers, he might just be able to break through and just kill Jason right away.
all right. So we see there's breakthrough, Narcomoeba, Cabal Therapy, Imp, Cephalid Coliseum. I saw in there, Golgari Thug.
Yeah, and there's a Nature's Claim, and it's looking like one of the
Nature's
problems with
Claim.
Dredge is that you can't really sideboard out parts of the main combo when you're sideboarding, so you end up sideboarding out you have to sideboard out combo pieces because you're a 60-card combo deck actually. So you just make your combo worse.
Yeah.
And here, Jason doesn't even have anything that gets hurt by Nature's Claim at all, but just
There it
because
is.
of the danger.
That was it.
That's
There's the match. He just turned. He just end of turn Entomb and chose him Reanimate. I'm going to Reanimate Elish Norton. You don't have a way out. All right, that's it. So Jason Terry with Reanimator takes the match in just 20 minutes.
Yeah, and it's for the amount of turns that happened in that match, it's a pretty quick game. But
It was 4-turn match, I think.
yeah,
5-turn match.
Jason won game 2 before Alexander had a land in play.
Yeah.
I mean, that's generally
against
pretty good
most
way to do
decks,
it.
though. There would have been at least a land in play because they would have mulliganed, a no lander. But Dredge is fine with no land on turn 1.
So next weekend, February 18th, 19th, the StarCityGames.com Open Series returns to Charlotte.